All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10 o'clock. It is time to call this meeting of the Commissioners Court to order. We'd like to start with our opening prayer by Pastor Katie Caprillion from the Valley Creek Church. Yes, I'm so sorry. And please pray for guidance for us today. We'll need it.
All right, Jesus, thank you for bringing us here together. God, I pray that you would guide our thoughts, that you would guide our words, and we just ask that you be present throughout this meeting. We really have come here all together to seek the peace and the prosperity of the city and for Cooke County. So God, we just pray that your hand is in every decision that's made today. We pray that this time would be used wisely, and we pray that we would just bring honor and glory to your name. So thank you for this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You're welcome to stay and join us today if you'd like. Commissioner Hollowell, I believe it's your turn, isn't it, this time to say our pledges?
Join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much. Has anyone signed up for public comments? Okay. I have no public comments today. Item number 6 would be a presentation of proclamation declaring Constitution Week to the Rebecca Crockett chapter of the National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution. And let's see, I think probably best place to do that is just right down here in front. You guys want to join me down in front?
You want to sign it first, Judge, or
You want to sign it or
Do we need-
after?
however?
All right. Does anybody want to approve it first of
Do I need
all?
to read it?
Do what?
Are you gonna read it?
Yep, gonna read it when we get down there.
Oh.
I make a motion, we approve.
Motion, Commissioner Hollowell, that we approve.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. And we'll sign this just as soon as we get through presenting.
Okay.
Okay, you want to join me right down in front down here?
Give you room.
We all- I'm probably she gonna hit me with that can.
Who, Angie? Angie wouldn't do that? No.
I don't have cane.
That's all we take.
Okay.
All right, don't come right over. He's actually gonna
Before you read the words,
do what now?
do you want me to take a picture before you read the words?
During, after, it doesn't make any difference.
You have to be careful that camera's right.
Take your best.
Yeah, someone said my bad.
Yeah, the
And it's
camera.
rigid.
Oh, you.
Okay. Oh, we have to turn around. Yeah, I should, I just don't want to, now can't see that, that's high.
You tell everybody where they need to be.
Well, it needs to be like right here. And they were in front of that. We're friends. I can't see Adam. Everybody else I can. There you go. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to make this
Let's
complicated.
take control of doing this
I'm
here.
sorry, Lord. Y'all ready?
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cooke County Commissioners Court proclamation declaring Constitution Week. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government as a republic dedicated to the rule by law, and whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate it. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Cooke County Commissioners Court is hereby recognized and proclaimed the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week in Cooke County, Texas, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties. This proclamation is presented to the Kentucky Property Chapter NSPAR and is passed and approved on this, the 9th day of September 2024. And we're going to sign this just in a second. You can get some more photo of you while we're signing.
Just need to look up, Judge, that's what she was
Is
like.
that, what, was that what
Couldn't read and look up at the same time.
Well, she didn't want to see my face. If you'll wait just a second, we'll get this signed.
Thank you.
Thank everyone.
Thank you.
Here you go, Jason.
You need time to get by it? Let me borrow a cane. I can put it to good use. Angie, it's so good to see you.
See, Daryl.
I miss everybody.
So I better get over here and get my signing line.
Here you go.
Were you afraid to come in? No.
Yes? Oh, I said that back.
I'm your constituent, so.
Yeah.
Jason. Are you?
Do you have Jason or Gary?
You let Jason. You let Jason.
Yeah, the line's in Woodbine though. Okay, yeah.
She's at Ross tonight, but I thought you said like one time you lived with Woodbine.
I do, yeah. I lived at Kiowa for 12 years and then I,
Yeah, just one signature, right? Just one spot.
One time, we were in there one time to get our property combined into one.
okay, yes.
We talked to my husband, told me, I bet you're right.
For a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I just got my house done last November, so.
Wow, congratulations.
Adam?
Well, this is more appropriate to that. So on the 17th, we'll have a.
More appropriate? Oh, yeah.
And what's the young lady that's going to sing
And that's going to be out here on the steps. Okay, that's in our consent agenda today.
on the 17th?
Yeah, I think it says on the 17th. Let's see.
Oh, you've already publicized it.
Did you give that to, did Matt sign that?
Let's see, Constitution Week,
Yes.
17th.
At 3 p.m. on September 17th,
Yeah.
2024, to ring the bells for America in celebration of Constitution Week. That's good. Thank you very much.
Bless y'all.
Bless you all. Appreciate what you do.
I'll take my friend.
You taking him with you? Make him stay. All right. Item number 7, the consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs, to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hart. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. The consent agenda has passed 5-0. Brings us to item number 8. Deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of a final plat for the Wags Ranch, a 2-lot development on County Road 155, Precinct 1.
That's going to be a final, as it says. It's met all the criteria, and I make the motion, we approve it.
Mr. Hollowell makes the motion to approve. I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item number 8 passes 5-0. Item number 9, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the burn ban. Ray Fletcher.
Yes, sir. I think, provided you all with the most recent drought monitoring KPI, conditions have improved since the last meeting in burn ban on. Most folks got 1 to 2 inches of rain. We've had some cleanup. I think right now we can safely lift the burn ban. I think that folks need to continue to be very careful. Hopefully, we are transitioning into the fall months and the rain keeps coming. We are forecast to be in the 90s this weekend. But with the humidity improvements, that should help also. But I think for right now, we can take a look at the burn ban, but not good conditions. Things don't change dramatically over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we may be back.
And isn't there a new, we haven't talked about it much, but there's a new form on our website, the procedures to call in whenever they're going to do a
Yeah,
burn?
if they go to the sheriff's office website, there's an online form they can log their control burn. Again, control burn, just because you're calling it a control burn doesn't mean you can burn whatever you want. That is typically organic debris from your property, on your property, leaves, branches, trees, grass clippings. That's about it. That maybe household trash. So I know with the tornado cleanup, we got new houses being built, and we had an incident Friday of somebody burning their construction debris, and that's not allowed, and it was dealt with appropriately. It's not only a burn ban violation, but it's illegal burning when materials are burned. So just be very careful. The information's out there. The Texas outdoor burning rule is very specific on what is allowed, what isn't. You're fired even if you're burning the appropriate materials. If you're smoking out your neighbors and you're not doing it in the proper ways, or you're letting it burn overnight, all of that. There's an extensive amount of things that you need to do to do it right and safe, so it stays contained and doesn't impact the neighbors and other sensitive subjects.
I know this, we got a QR code on there and then a clickable link for people to enter this in. It's on the sheriff's page. What do y'all think about putting it on our home page, make it a little more accessible? What do you think about that?
I think it would be great to have very promptly on the landing page for the county. It would be easier for them to get at. So they don't have to hunt up.
Other counties have been doing this for a while where, that way it trains people to call in. That way they can get if it's the bad weather conditions that they might not know about, or we're under the burn ban, it helps stop some of that, because some people will call in on low humidity days when they do not need to be burning, so it helps stop some of that.
Can Daryl fix it?
Yeah.
You've talked
Can we
to
put
Daryl?
that on the homepage? Can we put the burn ban QR code and link on the homepage of the website? Leave it on the sheriff's page, but
The
do an
sign
additional.
for your control burns and your fan and sheriff's office. Put that, bring it out to the top.
Does that notify the sheriff's office, though? Still doesn't notify them, does it? It just tells them to notify the sheriff's
Just say
office.
It creates a log for them to check.
Yeah. But
Oh, okay, it doesn't.
so they still need to call the sheriff's office,
Yeah,
because if they don't, then we'll be running volunteer fires up to them.
I guess I thought that it would flag dispatch or something where they
Do they
could
have
say
the ability
something.
to immediately put something on that?
We
They
need-
still
that
need
needs
to
be
call
our
the sheriff's
next-
office.
Yeah, it's still, everybody still need to call sheriff's office year round. It's just good practice. Other counties require it. Maybe that needs to be something we need to look at moving forward too, not today. I'll make a motion, we lift the burn ban for now.
Motion Commissioner Snuggs to lift burn ban.
Got a second down there?
Second.
Second.
Oh. Second Commissioner Sicking. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. The burn ban is lifted as of today, 5-0. Thank you. And you're up next too, aren't you? Deliberate and consider possible action regarding the emergency disaster declaration and all associated executive orders.
The latest update, of course, the debris has all been picked up from the curbside. Very extensive effort, and we appreciate the homeowners and property owners' work in getting that to us. It's an amazing difference down there in the affected area, the southern part of Cooke County. A huge pile of debris, approaching 50,000 cubic yards probably. That is now being hauled to the dump site from the collection site, and that'll probably be over the next 2 weeks. And hopefully toward the end of the month, we should hopefully have the debris project wrapped up. Relative to the disaster declaration, I would suggest for right now, keeping that in effect as we continue to work our way through this.
It still look like it might be under budget, or what do you think?
Cautiously optimistic. I'm not sure it'll be as significant, but the estimates we're getting from the contractors right now are favorable at least.
Good. Still lots of work to be done. Once they get through hauling everything, they've got to clean up the collection site and all that, so that takes money, and it won't be enough to talk about left over when we're done.
Might add that also includes burning of debris as part of the reason for the burn ban. Is that reasonable to say?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
Most of that debris is not to be burned.
Not to be burned,
No,
okay.
they're vegetative debris. If it's strictly limbs and branches and tree limbs, from that property, on that property, yes, as long as it's safe to do so. But the rest of the debris is all not to be burned.
Okay. I just meant the vegetation. Yeah. All right. So what do y'all want to do with executive order, emergency disaster declaration?
Leave it in place.
No action.
Yeah, we don't need a motion, I mean, just no action.
I think we reauthorized it for 90 days back last court in August, didn't we? Should have been.
So it should get us through November, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Should get us through November?
Right. So I think we're good to just continue as is.
All right, just no action on item 10 then. Thank you, Ray, appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Item number 11 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the 2025 sheriff and constable fees.
I don't have anything to say on that, other than they didn't change. It's all the same.
Hadn't changed.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Commissioner Arndt to approve, second Commissioner Hollowell. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item 11 passes 5-0. Item number 12, deliberate and consider possible action regarding allowing the sheriff to sign a 2-year contract with E-Force to provide software and training on CAD, mobile CAD, JMS jail package, RMS protection orders, civil, total, and completely new operating system.
Okay, so 3 years ago, come November, a different county judge signed us up with this vendor that we have. It was not our pick, it was not our choice. They were simply the first to come along and do a presentation. Now, I don't want to totally throw him under the bus. If their product had performed like they promised and told us it would perform, then maybe we wouldn't have an issue. But it has not worked in 3 years. It's a disaster. It's moved us backwards. Prior to this vendor, we did have the ability to run returns in our patrol units. We have laptops in them and modems and so forth. But with this vendor, they have yet to get it online. So our deputies are running everything through our communication system. So a few months ago, I formed a committee. We looked at several vendors with a couple of the main things I said. Number one, it's got to be affordable for us. And number two, it's got to work. It's got to perform everything that we needed to perform throughout the department. So we've traveled around this state and we've looked at the different vendors from Mark 43 to E-Force to Central Square to Southern Software, several of them. And when we traveled to these departments, we talked to deputies who operated in their cars and communication operators in comm. We talked to jailers, we talked to investigators, we talked to the end users to see what they felt and thought about the product. Y'all know, y'all deal with vendors on your own, they'll try to sell you anything. I mean, they talk their product up big. So over a few month period, we've come down to E-Force. They are affordable. Everyone that we've visited that has the product is satisfied with it. They've done what they said they would do. So it's time to move on. We have got to move on to a better product because what we have is it's horrible. It's not working. So the money has been budgeted. It's a 2-year contract or a 2-year payout commitment. So it's not all up front. And various features, if you look through it, I don't want to bore you with it, but it will operate our communication center, our deputies out in the field, where they can run 28 or registrations and wanted checks from their units. Run our jail system, it runs our record system, it runs the whole department. Another feature with it that we want to purchase is the site license, which gives us unlimited amount of users. So we can add the district attorney's office, the county attorney's office, EMS, the JPs, whoever we want to give a license to. We have unlimited licenses, and even as we grow, we don't have to pay the extra fees. So that's a huge benefit to them. So anyway, we budgeted the money thanks to the auditor. So we need to move on, Joe.
I don't know a whole lot about this. Are we still on the hook for this previous?
We've never paid them their money, their upfront money, because they've never followed through with what they said the product would do. And in fact, their CEO said, we can't charge you that money because it's not performing like we said it would. We have paid them maintenance. Every one of these vendors charge an annual maintenance fee for updates and so forth to keep it operating. We've paid them that each year, but we haven't paid them their upfront money.
Do we have that in writing where the CEO said that they couldn't charge us? I mean, I'd hate for them to come back and say, hey, a couple $100,000 or whatever, I don't know what it was, or you know what I'm saying? Is there something that...
I may have that in an email, but they're fully aware that they have become non-responsive to our emails, to our phone calls. Finally, they are owned by I3 Verticals, who owns NetData and a handful of companies. SSI is who I'm talking about, and the vendor we have. So I spoke with the CEO of I3 Verticals, who owns all of it. I spoke to him about 2 or 3 months ago and told him we were looking. And he said, have we lost your business? And I said, all I can tell you is we're looking. Keep working, keep trying to get it. But when the day comes when we've made our pick, we're through, if your system's not working. His statement was, if that day comes, and our system isn't working, I'll help you find a vendor. So, I don't know what to tell you. I have email exchanges, I have telephone conversations, and they know as of a week ago that we were going with somebody else.
Things change, you know, different people get into all of a sudden they're saying, hey, we never collected any money, we just need to have something saying we're not liable for it. Does that make sense? Or that's the way I see it, I don't know, maybe I'm way out of line here.
No, I understand. I like the new company. It's got a 10-day cancellation. You know, you notify them 10 days, you can walk after that.
I'm not worried about the new company.
Well, I know, I'm just saying, I was seeing what this company had, just,
Right.
So, the old one,
Any contractual agreements or anything like that with the old?
we'll have a copy of it. Your office will have a copy of it, and I'll have a copy of it. Any kind of obligation that they could ask for, it would be $164,000, but we're not gonna pay that. They know we're not gonna pay that. Their system is not running. It's not. Last thing they want to do, they're trying to build their product in Texas. Last thing they want to do is get into a hassle in the county and especially try to sue. That's not what they want.
It's pretty obvious they've not met their contractual agreements, right? They hadn't been able to perform.
We don't have printers in our units. We don't have connectivity with TLEX in our units. The records management system is horrible. It's losing case reports. It's popping up reports that come from who knows where. It still has Georgia listed all throughout it because they are a Georgia-based company, and so when we were trying to print stuff out, it put Georgia on the tickets or warnings, and I could talk all day. about that.
motion to approve the new, or motion to let the sheriff sign the software contract with eForce.
We have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs.
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Arndt.
But does the sheriff sign that, or do you have to sign that?
On the-
On a motion for me to sign it because the contract came to me. That's why the motion was crafted, to give me the authority to sign that 2-year.
I guess if it needs to be signed by the judge, I don't mind. I'll change my motion. What do you, it's good?
Y'all can give him.
Okay.
Authority.
We can do that.
My motion stands then.
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Thank you. Richard, what were you gonna talk, you wanna talk about something? Just visiting. You just visiting today? Yeah, okay. Because we're about to go into executive session at this time, item number 13. So if I could ask the courtroom to be cleared other than deliberate and consider possible action regarding consultation with attorney regarding proposed actions and advice to the court, real property contract being negotiated, or any personnel matters. 15, deliberate and consider possible action regarding, 14, first of all, anybody have anything?
What time are we reconvening?
I'm sorry, we'll say it's 11:09. Nobody have anything? All right, item number 15, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the FY25 proposed budget. This is it, guys.
So we had no action on 14?
No action.
Anybody got any new stuff there? I got a few things,
Go for it.
but I was wondering if anybody else had anything. I'm tired of looking at numbers, I know that.
Well, go ahead, start it off.
One that it was hard for me when we were doing these line items, but the more I think about it, the more I talk to people, is the dispatcher pay line items. And I know that we have tons of positions that are underpaid, but I feel like, you know, the heart of our public safety is the dispatchers, and I mean, they've got one person answering the phone so many times throughout the day and through the night that because they're having problems attracting people. I would like to make the motion that we do the dispatcher pay increase that the sheriff requested in his original budget.
And how much would that be?
It was, forgive me for not knowing the exact number, but it was like 35,000. Does that sound right?
That's to fund all of them.
That's to fund all of them. And what that'll do is it'll raise the positions up where they're more competitive, so we can actually get some dispatchers, get more people applying, because, not everybody can do that job.
That's what I said,
It's
it
a
takes
special job.
person to do that, just like it does EMS or fire. They've got to be dedicated, willing to do that. I mean, it's not,
And they gotta have
you
the,
can throw a lot of money at people, and if they're not dedicated, it doesn't make a bit of difference.
yeah,
$33,781.43.
that's the number.
But the other number's 6%. Is what it was, right?
6%.
A 6% increase per employee.
Is that what it was?
And it takes 30 what to fund it?
Oh, well, just for the dispatcher.
Yeah.
So does that mean they get a 9% now?
That would be the next thing we need to
Yeah.
talk about. Well,
No.
because that would.
You're gonna give them a 9%?
That's the one thing that we needed to talk about, I guess. 'Cause, that position needs to come up that much to be competitive. My concern was, some other employees feel like that they deserve it too, and everybody deserves it, but like this one is at the heart of our public safety. And we can't staff it with the right people, so.
I know money.
I want some feedback on the whole 9%.
I don't think we should do the 9%.
So they would be 3 plus another 3 if we didn't put them in on the overall raise.
I respect the hell out of what they do and everything, but Jesus,
I agree.
we gotta make,
Yeah. That would,
Can I offer something else on that subject?
absolutely.
Sheriffs across Texas have been lobbying that communication operators be included in Senate Bill 22. They are defined by the state legislature as first responders, but they got left out of that inadvertently. I think they will be added in Senate Bill 22 in the next session, and what I would commit to you is, if so, that I will fund that 6% out of Senate Bill 22 money. So, just asking you for
That's,
a year till we can get there.
Does session meet this upcoming, or do they meet last week?
No, you're about to start, Bubba.
Okay, we're about to start good.
January.
But it won't be till next year before.
Yeah.
that's good. What scares me on that, we're using that money, and if it goes away, I mean, we're gonna be just like we were with that $1 million they gave everybody a raise with. All of a sudden, we're hit with a huge chunk coming out that, you know, that's what, you know, you're giving it to your deputies and stuff. That's why I want to make it very clear that that doesn't mean they're gonna get it when that bill goes away. And I know that's gonna be a,
I get it.
Well,
It's
the
not-
advantage there, though, when it comes to attracting people, every other department that took advantage of that 6% is going to lose it, so it's going to keep it maybe on a more competitive playing field as far as trying to keep deputies or dispatchers or anybody else. You overcommitted there, I think, in that you want to commit, if they get SB 22, you make up 3%. Because right now, you'd be getting a 3% difference.
Well, not if we did the 6 and the 3. What he's saying is if we did the 9, he would.
So
Okay.
I was asking for 6%, just to get them to where we were. Then you've authorized so far 3% for everybody. So in years past, I talked to Elizabeth, that's the way it worked. Our 6% is, that I'm asking for is an adjustment to get
It's a
anywhere
position
close,
increase.
close just to get inside the ballpark.
It's a salary correction to
So I-
compete
yeah,
with everybody
yeah,
else,
salary
what it is.
you
But
know, I mean, we basically got a 6%, what we already gave them, include the insurance on there. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
I totally
you know,
understand what you're
it's-
saying. Just that, you know, when you're putting it out to advertise, you know, when the people should be looking at that, they're not.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're,
it's a tough deal.
I mean, we're, in this case, we are distinguishing them a little bit differently.
And Matt, you're right, you have to be willing to do the job, you gotta be willing to do any job. And this is also a job, that is also a job that you have to be certified, you have to be TCO certified, you have to be trained in it. It's not, very few people can do it to begin with, very few people want to do it.
And not only the training, it has to be somebody who is mentally capable and emotionally capable and of the task and the multitasking that goes along with, you know, high stress environment. I mean, this is a big decision, and it's a pretty good chunk of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a small chunk of money, and I can look every taxpayer in the eye why I'm making this motion. If you need 911 in the middle of the night and nobody answers that phone number, there's a problem. And not because there's nobody there to answer it, but because that person's on the other line and can't get to it. And that can happen when there's 2 people there too, or even 3, but the likelihood of it happening with just 1 person there is extremely high.
I'm definitely not saying they're not worth it. Don't,
Yeah, and I think everybody knows what you're saying. It's just
I mean, it's,
looking at it from a dollars and cents. But
I'm looking at it exactly what he's talking about, and I think the public expects to call 911 and it be answered. And with 3 short every night, from midnight till noon today, there's just 1 in there. And you gotta remember, we're dispatching for EMS, even in the city of Gainesville. We
And I'll-
just countywide EMS. And so EMS stays hopping, the EMS side stays hopping all the time.
my house
So-
increase, I've been saying 2,500. I'm gonna tell y'all it's 5,000 house increase in the next 3 years. So I have another subdivision that's 2,400 coming. I mean, we got, it's just, we'll catch back up with some things, but my motion is for on this budget line item would be for the entire, like Gary said, salary adjustment of the 6%, and then that position would be included in the raise as well. That's my motion.
You gonna make that contingent upon the sheriff's concession, or?
Yeah, if they change the Senate Bill 22, it needs to be included in that. Is that what you meant?
Like I said, maybe I'm not articulating it, but they're gonna get the 3% regardless.
Regardless,
And
yeah.
so if SB 22 comes in, then it offsets the 6%.
Yes. Yes.
We're picking it up this year.
Yep, that's
You're
fine.
picking it up this year. I'm just trying to get clarification in here, is all I'm trying to do.
Right.
And with the understanding,
SB doesn't come in.
Then we're still
Word that
picking
for me,
it up.
Jason. Word that for me.
And we're
Just
still
like
picking
that.
it up.
yeah, you gotta assume worst case scenario is we're picking up a 9% increase for how many people, Ray?
That's 10 slots.
10,
There, we got empty spots.
But, I mean, the thing is, if we can't get them in the door for an interview, we can't get them hired.
So my motion is to increase our dispatcher pay for all 10 positions by 6%. And then those positions are also eligible for our 3%.
No, not eligible. In
Well,
addition to.
In addition to the 3% raise that we have already talked about.
And if SB 22 comes in,
Yeah. And the sheriff has said if SB 22 comes in and includes dispatchers, that
and
That-
at
that will
6%,
cover
if SB 22 come in at 3, then whatever.
Shelley, how much did you say that,
31,000.
$33,782.
that's for,
6%.
okay,
over 10 positions.
over 10 positions?
I don't think he said, I mean,
The exception.
It's
How
a
we
little
gonna word
over
that with the
$200 a
exception of
month for
if
for
they're
those
included in
positions.
Senate bill.
I don't know that you can make that exception because budget is year to year.
Okay, so
Well,
take that
yeah,
out.
so
Well, but-
we'll deal with that.
Yeah,
when it
we'll deal
comes
with
up.
that.
All right, I'm
if-
gonna leave that out then.
You leave that part out.
Perfect. All right,
Sheriff's not gonna go back on his word if that happens.
right. All right.
I can't do it. So we have a motion,
That's my motion.
Commissioner Snuggs. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Arndt, that we give a 6% raise to 10 dispatchers. And then the 3% goes on top of that.
And I'll add a statement for further discussion, just for the rest of, like, EMS and sheriff, as our population grows and hopefully tax revenue grows too, we're gonna look at all positions, but right now, this one is a vital position that has a problem.
They're all vital. They're all vital, but some of the positions already make substantially more than what dispatch makes also.
Yeah.
I mean, so, anyway.
All vote.
Did I hear a second?
We got it.
Who was that?
Adam?
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Motion passes 4-1.
You're a name.
Your DA.
Pardon?
You're the
Don't
name.
get your DA.
I'm the nay.
I see. Got that one. I got one. Yeah, I got it. One more to tackle is District Attorney's Office. We knocked their conference training budget. They'd requested 10. At the last meeting, we knocked it to 5. Of course, we reduced a lot of people. They've expressed to us that that won't cover it. They have 6 or 7 people that have required CEs. They requested to stay at 10, but they came to us with concessions of $7,000.
They reduced other line items by 7.
Yeah, they reduced other line items by 7. So if we put their conference budget back up to 9, we would still be 3,000 better than we were going to be on the budget at what we had set. So I make a motion we do their office supply line would be 4,000. Their uniform would be 3,000.
2,000. It went from 5 to 2. 5 to 2. So.
Oh, well, then that's more money. Office,
No, they reduced this one by 2,000. They reduced this one by 3,000, so they only reduced it by $5,000. They didn't reduce it by 7. They went from 6 to 4 on office. Am I telling him straight, Shelley? Six to 4
that's
on
2.
office.
Okay.
That's 2,000.
okay, 2 and 3,
And
it's
then they
5.
went from 5 to 2.
So it's 5,000. Right?
Yeah,
2.
so you still
We're still in the money.
netting.
I make a motion, we could do office to 2 uniform, or office to 4, uniforms to 2.
Hold on. You're increasing the office supplies to
No.
what?
Reducing office
Reducing.
to 4,000,
4,000.
uniforms to 2,000, and raising the conference line back up to 9,000. It's still a net decrease on the entire budget. And I appreciate them willing to come to us with the concessions to make it all work rather than just wanting the whole kit and caboodle.
How much was that total, did you?
I did the math that we were gonna net 3, but it looks like we're gonna
You're going to net 1.
net 1.
They're going to reduce their.
We're gonna reduce their overall budget by 1 and still put their conference where they felt like it needed to be.
Second.
We have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs, second, Commissioner Hollowell, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none, motion passes 5-0.
Sorry about my terrible motions, Pam.
Okay. I got it.
Trying to make it all right, make sure we got everything in there.
What else?
One last one is the constable, precinct 1. I think he reached out to most of us, but I met with him and we talked about some things. On his reserve deputy, he inherited 2 from Watson, and he asked us for a 3rd, and I don't remember exactly when it was. And I meant to pull the agendas and go back and watch the video, but I didn't. But he had said that one of us had asked him to get rid of one if he wanted to have another. Well, one went ahead and just resigned for that reason, and so he was trying to bring on another, and we denied it. I asked him some questions about why they need them and all that, and I get it. I do sympathize with the fact if the court did tell him to get rid of one, and so that he could add another one. But so my motion is that we do allow him the funds to onboard another reserve agent,
Which would make 2.
which would make 2. He's got the female that he uses for when he's going to have a female that he's worried about, and I understand that. And then the other one is just for, to have a backup if he's off
many
for
does Chuck have?
assistance. Yeah. And this person can work all the time. Would you say
How
something?
many does Chuck have?
Chuck has 0, and that was one of the things I said Chuck does it without any, and y'all can work back and forth, and he said he understood that, but he said, he said the fact is I like to have mine, and that's the way I run my side. So I get it. I'll make a motion that we let him onboard another reserve agent if that's so he chooses. He said he wanted to do a bulletproof vest this year, but he's willing. He feels like in the long run the reserve agent or the reserve deputy is better. Really the only cost we have with the deputy is when the reserve is when we bring him on is the physical and the mental and all that, costs like $750 to bring them on. After that, it's just, qualifying ammo annually and their association dues, so, you know.
He had $526 in his budget for it. How'd he get to $750? Where, there was there not $526 in the line item?
What is his account number? Oh,
Do you have that motion, Pam?
And
I will
then,
second that.
and then as he adds person, are we gonna end up with needing ammo and bulletproof vest and all those things? I mean,
he didn't ask for all that, and I
we
think.
didn't ask for it this time, but I mean, right now it's $250 per person in ammo.
Yeah. What is his line item, so I can pull it?
551.
Or $225 per person in ammo if it's him and a reserve.
Where are you seeing the reserve, the 552?
526 is what I thought was, there was a number of $526 somewhere.
But we denied it. 530, 535.
535.
But we denied it.
Yeah, we denied it, but that, so how did it get to 800, Shelley?
He's got a bond, and he's got a physical, and,
Oh, this 535 would have been to keep the two that he already had, but since then, one is resigned. So it would need to be,
it's $855.
would onboard the new one and pay the bond and everything for the existing one. So it'd be $300 extra. And I know he's got ammo and all that, but it's,
Well, but he doesn't have ammo for another reserve in this line. He's got himself and another, and he's at $450, that's $225 a reserve, a person, I'm sorry.
$899 total, sorry. It's,
And the initial cost is not that much, it's just, you know,
$178 for a 4-year constable bond and $93 for 2 reserve 2-year bonds and $535 for reserve uniforms or expenses. That's the psychological and the,
physical.
thank you.
And I told him, I said, you know, whenever you come each year, we need to keep the,
yeah.
I hate arguing back and forth over the pennies on the ammunition, and I've told you that, Gary, but I told him the same thing. I said, just your minimum qualifying ammo is all you need to ask for.
Well, that's about $150.
I agree with you,
So-
100%, so. But
Anyway.
I make a motion, we put the money in there where he can get a second reserve deputy.
And I second it. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes 4
I
to
just
1.
leave it, just leave it 5-0.
Oh,
Just leave it 5-0.
5-0.
I need to bug you one more time.
Go.
Sheriff.
Because I promised no more today. I was texting Elizabeth because it's unclear. I think the auditor's unclear too. So I asked initially for that civil deputy. I have a civil deputy, that position be classified as a sergeant position because they handle complex cases, courthouse property sales up here on the steps. That was about $3,600 annually.
It wasn't clear, they said no special anything, so.
Well, and then we added not individuals, but 2 FTO positions in the jail. And we need those really bad because, by the way, folks, since the first time, and I can't tell you how many years, our jail's going to be full of staff. If everybody in the hiring process works, and they should.
You should
So,
have said that out loud.
Anyway, that was about $1,500, I think, for the 2 FTO slots. It's not 2 extra people, it's just classifying 2 individuals as FTOs. So those 2 are, the civil deputy and the FTO positions are unclear as to whether that was approved or not.
minutes right here show that they discussed it twice, but no action was ever taken.
I think it was because we weren't gonna do any special raises. We were only gonna do across the board raises if we did a raise. I think that was
When we discussed that in the rapid fire meeting that we had, we didn't have any objections to that, but we didn't vote on the sheriff's because the vehicles and the special raises is where we was during that very first gathering. And so we didn't, I don't think any of us objected to it. We just didn't, we didn't vote on it, so.
I've been talking for 15 minutes, so y'all can, whatever y'all wanna talk about on those. It's all valid, we talked about all that, just, it's money.
Do we have a cost
Was-
on that?
Was that in I had a $35,000 number in my head, and that was 30 now, it wouldn't have been enough. I had 35 in my head, Sheriff, I was thinking, and then the actual dispatcher was less. I was thinking, was that the difference? But it's not enough money. It's only about 1,500. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't want to mislead you. I'm going to
Okay.
give you actual numbers. Elizabeth texted me. She says the sergeant cost is $45.73. FTO cost is $27.79.
That's for both FTO?
The FTOs is total for two.
Okay, for two.
$27.79. Sergeant is $45.73.
$73.52
40.
for both of them.
The reason those FTOs are important was we will have new employees on every shift. So we need FTOs on every shift. We currently only have 6. And so that just, you have 4 shifts. And so we have 2 on every shift. We have multiple new employees on every shift. So 2 more would get us to where we have FTOs on every shift of the side.
All 3 of those would be $7,352.
Raises.
Plus the raise.
Yeah, but these are stipends. And
Yeah, they're stipends. Position pay, base pay adjustments.
I make the motion we approve them.
Who said that, Gary?
What?
Who said that? I was looking.
I
at
said it.
You did. Just to approve what y'all just discussed, I guess. You
Yeah.
want to say it? You want to say exactly what you're approving?
Just,
We have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, to approve the sheriff's request.
of stipends and,
Stipend for a civil deputy and then
And
also
to-
the FTO
no,
employees.
no, the FTO stipends
The FTO
in the
stipend.
jail. And then to change the civil deputy status from a deputy at deputy pay to a sergeant status. I think I got that right. I think that's what the sheriff said.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye.
And with that being said, I'm not gonna take my raise.
You just have to pay it back.
Hmm?
You just have to pay it back. You write them a check back.
Is that what I have to do?
Every
If
week
not,
or
because
every-
it's already posted and everything,
Oh, okay.
you can't close out today's budget if you don't, if we change
Oh,
elected
okay.
officials' pay increases,
Okay.
because it's been posted.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
So every pay period, right? Okay.
And any other elected official that chooses to do that can do the same thing.
Okay.
You want to make that announcement where everybody can hear it?
The part that he just said?
No, that you just.
Oh,
said.
yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. I'll get with Elizabeth on that and figure out how to do all that. And then any other elected official who wants to do the same is welcome to do that too. But I just don't feel it's right for me at this time, even though we're grossly underpaid. But I'd rather, you know, just do it that way for my own conscience.
All right. Did you get all that, Pam?
It's not a motion or anything,
It's
just
not a
just a
motion or
public
anything,
statement.
That's fine. Okay, and I've got my usual thing. I make the motion that we take a year's moratorium on any kind of development with the Prosperity Bank other than, and spend no more money than just to keep it in operate, just to keep it operationally sound. And if the opportunity came along to sell the thing within the next year, that we do so. That's a motion. Do I hear a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
I will say this, Prosperity Bank paid $600 a foot to build their new facility. Every conversation that we have had when we argue about the Prosperity Bank building, I have used $300 a foot. So you can double that to build a new commercial facility.
That's
Just with
assuming
that
you're
being
gonna
said,
build a new
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that's what it would cost to build something off-site right now to our specs.
That's assuming we were gonna do something like that, which I think we
Right,
came
I'm
out with
just-
that a long time ago.
And we bought it for 54.
We got anything else on the budget, guys?
Are y'all in agreement with the changes I made? Adding the commissioner's sound and,
Do we want to spend $24,000 on a sound
That
system
sounds
in
like a
here?
lot of money
I
to me.
don't know. I would love to,
I
but
don't
not
know, but I
this
couldn't
year.
hear half the stuff y'all was saying while ago down there.
you need
We're gonna have to get you some new hearing aids.
I can't believe you,
Might do
re-
something,
I can't believe that you
I-
referred to
I
this
do this.
conversation in such a
So,
manner.
If y'all want to listen to this video, if that crashed, you can't hear it, most of it. I'm recording.
I do wish we had lapel
Something.
mics, and I wish that we were more together for our discussions instead of facing up here. It's just-
A bigger
Y'all
view.
lean back and you can't hear nothing down there. I know you're talking, just hear mumbling, but that's all.
Probably because I mumble a little bit. Is there, so let me pull that email. I don't want to spend 24, I'm opposed to that personally, but if there was a way
Was that
to.
totally everything, Daryl, or did we talk about doing part of it at one time? Or you gotta do the whole thing?
And for a past quote, we talked about cutting it up, but he made a new visit, looked at the whole room, and so that's his quote. We can go back and discuss it with him and say, we do or don't want things, so.
That wasn't video on there, was it?
Sorry.
That wasn't video on there. That was just sound.
audio for this.
That sounds like a lot.
Well, it's, how many speakers is that?
2.
There was one on there for an extra speaker.
All that I remember in my head is the lapel mics, I'm sorry.
I have it right here. I'll also email it out.
Yeah.
So, this email was, or this bid was old. Did you say something in here about it was still good?
No,
Well,
he's
there's a new one on
got a new one in
September
there.
Oh, okay.
Air of the system, 16,600, labor is 5,800 or something like that. It don't say what the.
And I guess,
Just seems like
That-
a lot.
that seems like a lot of money. And that raises another question on IT's budget.
I personally think we can limp along for another year and talk about it again next year.
I have a tendency to agree with that.
We could,
I think if we move those speakers around, brought this one up here. I mean, I used to DJ and used to do that kind of stuff. I'll try some.
What's your handle?
DJing?
Yeah,
Didn't have a handle.
like Atomic Atom or?
No. But my whole system didn't cost $24,000 and we could hear it everywhere.
That doesn't help Pam, I don't guess, though. But if we can get these up here next to us,
This one includes an amplifier.
yeah, we could, of course, we don't want to necessarily amplify it a bunch and get it out there in the courthouse, so I know what that is.
seems like we could find a microphone.
Yeah, the feedback.
We need to put it out here.
But the feedback would be bad.
That's what it's doing. It's just
That's
taking
why
that
we-
sound right back to these mics.
But if we would move these up, we could solve a bunch of that. If we
Yeah.
just eat the
We
mic.
just learned how to-
Exactly. If you talk like this, I could probably hear it.
There you go.
This is how.
And that's,
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
I can.
there you go.
Do we look silly, Adrian? But we can hear.
Yes.
Don't answer that silly part.
Sound
You
good,
got a
Adrian?
day.
Hey, Adrian, how's this sound?
Yeah.
All right?
You
got it.
Closer.
There you go.
Hello.
Now,
We just solved a $24,000 problem for free.
Yeah.
I tell y'all that every time. You might say,
Okay, that's what we need to do. But
Next week, it's close to it.
in the meantime,
when they get up there,
You take this little dust thing off, that helps. That's for wind.
All right, we good on the 24,000? We're not going to do that? We're going to strike that?
sorry.
Now then, we have talked about, we got to put out a bid for phones. Have we got that in the budget, Shelley?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're cutting to 24. We need you need an motion or just in the minutes or?
peeps.
She's eating her peeps, yeah. Didn't offer anybody else a peep.
No, I can get peeps.
She's calculating. Anything else on the budget, guys?
Are we waiting for?
She's calculating, but
People texting me, lapel microphones. People are paying attention.
Would you do turn speaker up, please?
That one was
Made a difference.
Yeah, we can.
so deductions on conference dropped 4,000. What it was a net drop on.
So I think if my software is good, the new total on the M&O budget is $31,006,975.
So
316 what?
31,006,975.
Okay. And so,
This year's,
Next year's.
I know, what was, you have that, right?
yeah. So we need a motion to approve this budget with that number.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd make that motion. approve the proposed budget, or call it the final budget? I'm sorry, adopt a budget.
Yes, but there's a whole statement.
Okay, so somebody's got that to read, I'm guessing?
We also have to move into the public.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll,
All right.
that'll be after the discussion here.
Discussed it, so we know
But you're gonna
we
make that
should be.
motion.
Well, when somebody, we got to read it. I don't,
Yeah.
Chelsea? Okay.
The budget this year is 28,978,056.
Okay.
What was that number?
28,978,056 is what I think, Bubba.
28 million what?
I think she said 28,978,056 is what I think she said. Shelley, confirming you said 28,978,056. Okay, I got it right. Okay. That's 3 million increase. And what's interesting, that's a 3 million increase, and we're going to get $1 million in revenues. I can never make this work out.
Where? I just don't see where, besides raises and where it would be that much of an increase.
See, and
Raises
this
are
is what
pennies.
doesn't ever make sense when we read this, but it says it'll increase by, I know, but I can make this statement right to these guys and to the public, because it's misleading to me. So that's a 7.6% increase over last year's budget. And we know we can't do more than 3.5, but 750,000 is all that new bills generated.
Shelley, my CTIF money that's hanging in revenues.
It's not, it'll roll into next year.
Okay.
And part of this increase in this budget is SB 22 money's in there, isn't it, Shelley?
Yeah.
See, that's part of that increase. I'm sorry?
And also the revenue, so it's zero.
Yeah. So like I said, to me, it's, they're trying to make it simpler and make it all transparent, but it's much more confusing. Okay, we can open a public hearing, I guess, Judge?
Let's see,
I shut my agenda.
is everybody through with what they wanted to say?
What is our line item number? Like, what is our number? Like for our commissioner budget? 62622.
427, maybe?
No.
What is it?
What
Your
is our,
department.
what is my department number?
622.
Yeah.
Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, slowly. Where is ours? Are ours at the top of this or something?
No, they're toward the end, aren't they? Looks like I closed mine.
Sorry, I'm just, I checked my contingency before we get too far, and I wasn't paying attention to my own darn budget.
So on 15, you made the motion to incorporate all these changes.
The sheriff's office changes?
DA, dispatcher, constable, 1, IT, jail, and
Oh, no, he made the motion for the dispatchers, and then he made the motion for the DA. And what's your next one?
constables.
He made the motion for
civil,
constables.
and IT,
Jason made the first three,
okay.
and then, I'll go ahead, did we actually make the motion on that? If we didn't, I'll make the motion on the IT budget that we reduce the $24,000 for, or eliminate the purchase of the upgrade of the sound system. Okay, and so I guess we need to vote on that one, guys?
Was it in there?
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay.
Let's close this
no, hang on, no, we,
Let's open the public hearing.
no,
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 this is
no,
before
no.
that.
No, we gotta go back to 15,
Oh,
Judge.
okay, 15,
And-
deliberate and consider possible action regarding the FY 25 proposed budget.
And I'm gonna make the motion that we not purchase the
Oh,
new sound
okay.
system for the Commissioners Court. And
Yeah, I
that's
see what you're saying.
$24,500.
I thought we'd already done that. That's all right.
No,
Yeah, we never made a motion.
I don't think we voted on it.
Okay,
Okay.
so you made the motion, do I hear a second? No, I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none, so scratch the system.
Any others that we missed? Okay, we voted on them, everything. Pam, you think we voted on them all? Okay, so now then I think we're ready for a public hearing, Judge.
All right,
I sure would like to find my budget before.
Oh,
we-
you may want to adjust it.
I'm just
I'm
making,
sorry.
yeah, like I said, I've ignored my budget when we've been worrying about everybody else's. If anybody knows where it is, I'm still scrolling.
Are you in an Excel sheet? Hit Control F. And type in your number.
I did a search, it didn't work. I didn't do it.
does that tell you something?
Maybe. Tells me I got a migraine. Thank you. That's even better. Okay. And so, and then the revenues that are sitting in this year, do I need to do something with that?
No, it's used to fund next year's budget.
Okay, it's used to fund in this number, okay. Sorry, guys. I ignored my own. And my fund balance.
Everybody gets that 7.6% increase. It's not over last year's budgets. That's over what we generated last year.
Does,
7% increase would be 7.6 by 28 million or something.
so, in one of the emails you sent me, it'll tell me what my fund, if I fund it this exact way, what my fund balance is?
I think she done that.
Yeah.
We wrote that down. I don't know that she's, yeah, I guess she's sent an email.
Commissioners. If I can find it. Shelley, you send me a lot of emails.
Shelley, what's our current tax rate?
32443.
3243.
Remember what that email was titled, Shelley? Or no, you printed it out.
What are you trying to?
If I fund my budget exactly the way it is, where my fund balance is. I've got to buy a road grader, so I'm just making sure I got it ready. Like a real road grader, not a used one.
They run them on sale. this week. About $350,000.
You got 200 in your machine.
Okay, let's go.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Unless she comes up.
Item number 16 is to open a public hearing for the proposed FY25 budget. Open that hearing at 12 o'clock.
Really?
Anybody have anything to say? All right then, we will close the public hearing, item number 17 at 12:01. Item number 18, deliberate and consider possible action regarding adopting the FY25 budget.
You ready to read this?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you read it.
This budget will raise more revenue from property taxes than last year's budget by the amount of $1,816,000, I can't even read it. $1,816,690, which is 5.6% increase from last year's budget. The property tax revenue to be raised from the new property added to the tax rolls this year, $752,698. I would make a motion that we approve this budget.
Motion, Commissioner Hollowell. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll be the nay. We need to do this person by person, Shelley?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Hollowell?
Aye.
Commissioner Snuggs?
Aye.
I'll say nay. Commissioner Arndt?
Aye.
And Commissioner Sicking? All right, motion passes 4-1 that we adopt the FY25 budget. Item number 19, we're going to open a public hearing on the 2024 Cooke County tax rate, and that'll be at 12:02. Public hearing is open. That being said, at item number 20, at 12:03, we will close the public hearing on the 2024 tax rate. Item number 21, deliberate and consider possible action regarding adopting the 2024 Cooke County tax rate for maintenance and operations, tax code 26.5.
What you got, Shelley? I've got the right sheet of paper, right?
You should have. That is the right one, right? Yeah.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .3155, which is effectively 3% increase in the tax rate. This tax rate will raise more taxes for maintenance operations than last year's tax rate. The tax rate will effectively be raised by 3% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by $70.23. It don't make sense to me.
Motion, Commissioner Hollowell. Is this also a voice?
Yeah.
Roll call vote.
Commissioner Snuggs? Oh, I'm sorry, let me start back.
We got a second.
Commissioner Hollowell,
I'll second.
you'll second. Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Nay, or I'm sorry, aye.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0 on the tax rate. Your pleasure, guys.
Really?
Jason? It's your turn?
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah. Motion to adjourn, Commissioner Snuggs.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none.
Just don't.
At what time?
12:04.
What time do you adjourn?
Oh, I'm sorry. 12:05.